So you're struggling between the Logitech C920 and the Logitech C922? Well, by the end of this video, you'll be on with all the information you need to confidently make a decision. Let's get into the content. All right, so right now you're looking at me on the Logitech C920. So the Logitech C920 does have autofocus, but do I recommend it? Not necessarily, right? And I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a couple tests just so you can see how it will work for you. All right, so let's get right into it. So the first test we're gonna do is we're gonna do this test right here where I start to wave my arms, all right? Now I'm gonna pick up the speed with it and let me know what's happening. Is it pausing and kind of freezing while I'm doing that? Because the autofocus is trying to capture in on it. And then also what I'm gonna do another test where I'm gonna move my hand close and we're gonna see if it focuses in on my hand. All right, so I'm gonna do that one more time and it should try to focus, and then I'm gonna pull my hand away and then it should reset its focus back to me. All right, now obviously I'm looking directly into the camera, so if you could just let me know down below in the comments, give me some feedback on what you think about the autofocus, that would be extremely helpful. All right, now the next test I'm gonna do is the test where I go real quick in front of the camera. So I'm gonna go like this. Boom, I'm gonna go real fast. I'm gonna go real fast again. And the webcam might actually be trying to focus in on my hand, but because it's so quick, usually if you get a good camera or maybe something that's not necessarily a webcam, you'll have it to where it'll be pretty good for the most part. But when it comes to webcams, I don't typically keep the autofocus on. I tend to turn it off. All right, so now we're gonna go and we're gonna look at the C922 out of the box settings. All right, so right now you're looking at me on the Logitech C922, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do those same tests that I did for the Logitech C920 so you can see the differences. So the first thing is I'm gonna put my hands up and I'm gonna wave my hands like this, and I'm gonna speed them up. And what you're looking for, once again, is what's happening. Is it difficult for it to kind of pick me up? Or is it easier for it to pick me up, right? At least compared to the C920. Now the other test is if I move my hand in, the autofocus should pick up. It looked like it just did. And then if I move my hands out real quickly, it should kind of reset. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm gonna go in slow again. Is it resetting? I don't know. And then if I move back out, it should reset itself, all right? Now the next one is obviously this particular test right here where I go kind of fast to see if the autofocus will actually zoom in to try to catch me the best it possibly can, all right? So now we're gonna see what the microphones sound like on these two particular webcams, so that way you can make an informed decision on whether, okay, am I gonna get an external microphone or am I just gonna roll with this one? All right, so what you're hearing right now is the Logitech C920's microphone. Now, this is a webcam microphone, and I do want to say this right up front. I never recommend microphones from the webcam itself. I always recommend to go ahead and get yourself an external microphone so that way you can get better quality sound, all right? But I just want to let you hear what it's going to sound like if you decide to use this particular microphone, all right? So now we're going to go and we're going to listen to the C922's microphone. All right, so right now you're listening to me on the Logitech C922 microphone. So this is what it's gonna sound like for you. So if you are right with that, then go ahead and roll with that if that's the option that you roll with, all right? If that's suitable enough for you. But I highly recommend that you get yourself an external microphone, because the external microphone is what's going to increase the retention on your videos. Because a person can sit and watch an okay looking video, but it's kind of difficult for them to sit and listen to that video if the quality is not good. Trust me, I do it all the time, right? I can watch an okay lackluster looking type of video, but that quality has to be on point, all right? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna actually go into the software and I'm gonna show you how you can make your video quality better on both of these webcams. All right, so the software that you could use with both of these webcams is called Camera Settings. So Camera Settings is the one that I recommend. They do have G-Hub, they have Logic Capture, and a few others, but the one that I feel that is going to be the easiest for you is called Camera Settings. Now do keep in mind, I'm on Mac, you might be on PC. If you're on PC, you might have to actually roll with G-Hub and then go throughout that process, but I just don't really recommend them like that, all right? All right, so let's get into it. So now the first one we're gonna look at, which is the camera that I'm recording on right now, which is the C920. Now, what I love about it is when I come in here, if I want to switch to the other one, I can click here and you can see C922 Pro and HD Pro webcam C920. Now I'm gonna stay on the C920 while we kind of doing our thing. All right, so now the first thing you see here is image. So you see standard and you see widescreen. If you prefer a wider shot, then what I'm gonna recommend you do is click widescreen. All right, so now you can see a lot more of behind me, right? Which I tend to like as well. Now, another thing is the anti-flicker. So over here, I always keep this on NTSC 60 Hertz. I believe PAL 50 Hertz is for Europe. But don't quote me on that. Definitely go fact check me on that just so you can understand exactly what's going on. That's what I did, which is where I'm coming up with that whole Europe thing or somewhere in that vicinity, all right? All right, so now what you want to do is you want to go to the advanced tab. All right, so this is where you can actually start to edit like how your quality looks. So I'm gonna kind of play with the quality, and I might not be necessarily looking at the camera, but we're gonna make it work, all right? All right, so now you can see right here, if I can adjust the brightness. I can also make it extra dark. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back at 50 real quick. Also, I can mess with the contrast. So this is gonna kind of, make my skin look a certain color. And then if I go back here, obviously that's looking a little bit crazy. I would never have my stuff looking like that, but I just kind of want to show you how you can actually edit. The next thing is the color intensity. So I can bring this up. Obviously, I don't want my skin color looking that way. And you probably don't either. And then you can also go back this way if you want to go with, that particular look. Now, the next thing is the auto white balance. All right. Now, if I turn this auto white balance off right now, I'm gonna go ahead and click the button. You can see my color changes, right? And then that's where I would actually set it to whatever my color is for my lighting to make it look best, which is what I did with the particular webcam that I recorded to start this particular video, which is the Elgato face cam. That was the first part of the video. And then now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn that back on, and then you can see it just instantly resets itself. And then right here, you can see I got autofocus off because I don't like autofocus, especially when it comes to webcams, all right? So I recommend keep it off so you don't see a whole lot of movement. Remember earlier when I was recording, it had a whole lot of like pauses and freezes, but you don't really see that right now. And that tends to fix that issue. All right, so I'll turn it back on just so you can see what happens. You see how I kind of moved a little bit. That's what tends to happen. I don't like it. All right, so I tend to turn it off. So now another thing, and this is the thing that the C920 does that the C922 doesn't allow you to do. So I'm gonna go back here to the home, and then I'm gonna click on this plus. Now, when I click on this plus, in widescreen, I can do this with the C920, but in widescreen on the C922, I can't zoom in like this and then press up to move it up or down or to the left or to the right. All right, now in standard, it works the same way. So I can move it down, move it up, and then move it out. Now, when I switch to the C922, you're gonna see the main difference is in standard, you can do it, but in widescreen, you can't. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to the C922. All right, so let's go back to the same settings. So you can see in standard, if I do it, if I hit the plus, you see it allows me to do it. All right, so now if I go to widescreen, okay, make sure I'm looking at the right camera. And then now I try to hit the plus and then I try to do it then, it just doesn't allow you to do it. And in my brain, I was kind of like, well, why would you make the older one allow you to do it, but you won't make the newer one allow you to do it? To me, it was kind of just like, what in the world, right? So that's just my thoughts. And like I said, everything is pretty much the same here. You can go here and adjust your brightness, color intensity. All these things are exactly the same. The main difference was obviously the video quality and how it looks. And then also that particular thing that I just showed you, which is in widescreen, you can't make it zoom in how you want it, or if you want it extremely zoomed out, it's just gonna sit right there in widescreen. So hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, definitely go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Also, drop me a comment down below with any questions that you have, and I'll be sure to answer them. And do keep in mind that everything that I talked about in this video, there will be a link down below in the description, so that way you can make an informed decision on which one is going to be better for you. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.